With all this talk of politics here at DHS, you may be thinking about politics on a slightly larger scale. You may or may not know that 2004 is an election year. And if you do know, you're probably wondering about who's best to lead this country in the years to come. If you don't know, then you're probably a moron. And speaking of morons, George W. Bush, coiner of such common household phrases as, "I know it's hard for you to put food on your family," and rarely is the question asked, "Is our children learning?" is running for re-election this year. Listening to Bush's articulary happenings can sometimes cause us to doubt his evolutionary status, but is Bush really the icon of idiocy? Well, we're about to find out. We're all very excited here at DTV because today George W. Bush himself will be appearing on our show in order to set the record straight. So, whether you think Bush is a hero or you think he's not so precious, please welcome the 43rd President of the United States, George W. Bush. Welcome, Mr. President.
Good evening. I'm pleased to take your questions tonight.
Well, we're all glad that you can make it, Mr. President. Now, some people have accused you of being too stupid to handle your job, that you don't even know things like who the foreign minister of Mexico is. What do you say to those people?
The point I say to you is that, if what you're suggesting is that what I'm suggesting to you is if you can't name the foreign minister of Mexico, therefore, you're not capable of what you do. But the truth of the matter is you are, whether you can or not.
Don't worry, Mr. President. We'll be able to edit that out.
Thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're very welcome, Mr. President. Now, why don't we take a moment to talk about Iraq? Now, Iraq is going to be a major issue in the upcoming election, and we're going to give you a head start on the debate. Mr. President, why exactly did we go to Iraq?
We cannot let terrorists and rogue nations hold this nation hostile or hold our allies hostile.
Well, I suppose that's very true, Mr. President. Well, many of the former leaders of Saddam Hussein's regime are still at large in Iraq. Mr. President, are these leaders still a threat?
The Iraqi regime is a threat to any American and to threats who are friends of America.
Well, Mr. President, let's talk about our reasons for going into Iraq. Now, we all remember your speeches in which you accused Saddam Hussein of having weapons of mass destruction, but since the end of major combat operations in Iraq, we've yet to find any. Now, Mr. President, it seems to me as if we've all been fooled. What can you say to reassure the American people they won't be fooled a second time?
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you." If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Well said, Mr. President. One last question about Iraq. Now that we've actually gone into Iraq and removed Saddam Hussein from power, do you think we've made a lasting historical impact on the Middle East?
A free and secure and peaceful Iraq. A free and secure Iraq in the midst of the Middle East will have enormous historical impact.
Friends. Oh, Mr. President, how about a word on your domestic policy? Now, the Republican Party is categorically against gun control, but violent crime remains a problem in America. Mr. President, what do you believe would be an excellent solution to this problem that will reduce violent crime and still protect our constitutional right to bear arms?
I believe that people who are going to commit crime shouldn't have guns.
Wow. Genius in its simplicity. One last question, Mr. President. Many Democrats have accused you of being a puppet for big corporations, Dick Cheney, and the Teletubbies. What have you done in your term as presidency that shows you are willing to stand up and take charge?
Well, I've been standing up to big Hollywood, big trial lawyers. What was the question? It was about emergencies, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Mr. President, we seem to be out of time. We'd love to have you on DTV again sometime.
I am not willing to take that chance again, John.
It's Nick, actually. Mr. President, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come see us today. You're the most powerful man in the world. You get the last word.